welcome to another insert of Connections. Today is Wellness Wednesday, as you guys should know by now. We're talking all things wellness.
Yes.
How are you guys doing tonight?
I am so fabulous as always. I am good. I'm excited. As you heard, Unati, it is Wellness Wednesday. You should know by now. So we are talking about things with your mind, your body, your spirit. We are talking about that. And you, Luto?
I'm very well, thanks. To sort of evening to you folk at home. And yes, as they brought out, today is Wellness Wednesday for you, for those of you that have been catching the show for the past few weeks.
Yeah.
And what this is about basically is that we talk about what types of foods to eat, what types of supplements to take, you know, also what to avoid, what types of food not to eat, supplements not to take, to ensure that you optimize your brain power, you know, and using it to...
That's nice. Optimize.
Optimize.
He's been using Oxford. He's been using the dictionary.
Well, like when we consider it, honestly, when we think about our health and our fitness and whatnot, we don't really ever consider the brain, and that's also a muscle and an organ that needs to be maintained and taken care of. You can't just keep neglecting it for the rest of your life. And it does need some extra TLC at the end of the day.
You know how we always exercise for our heart? We always exercise to get a flat stomach. I know I've been trying that
Some
since.
of us trying to grow it.
Oh, you trying to grow a stomach? Wow.
Want to be above?
Wow.
You are so short. You're going to be so portly. Do you have any idea how ridiculous you're
I
going
will
to
be
look?
tall
You're
in
like
a
this
few
big.
months.
You're okay. And what you're saying is very true, Nati. I mean, we don't know that we actually have foods that optimize our brain and help our brain to work faster and not really faster but better. So guys, we'll be talking about that, foods that you can have and such supplements later on the show. But right now, what you can do is connect with us, the Big Five. Don't you like the Big Five? We have our very own Big Five right here.
Yeah.
You know the Safari Big Five?
I have no idea how you remember it all.
You know, it comes with practice, I guess. So we are on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Mindset Connections, and Twitter @Connections319. And of course, you can call us. Okay, that was a bit confusing. Of course, you can call us. Our number is 086-105-8262. SMS us 083-448810. And finally, email it. We are connections@mindset.co.za.
Take a breath. Take a deep breath.
A deep breath is needed after that.
Okay, you got that out of the way.
Yeah.
What thoughts?
Thoughts on this?
Yes.
Brain food.
Brain food. Use your brain.
Not brain food.
You know, what I've noticed is that you don't need to go out and go to the health store or, you know, whatever stores they have to buy supplements and this, that. It starts with basic things from home. Instead of
supplements. Like, we are talking supplements more rather than brain foods. Brain supplements.
Yeah, we're going to come to the brain food
to the food
later.
Supplements.
Yeah,
you
supplements.
Say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or drugs,
Thanks
whatever you want to call
Thanks for
it.
clarifying. With that, there's been research done, right, in the past couple of years, that certain drugs have been used, be it in the work environment or school environment, you know, to optimize your brain capacity. Or, you know, some people resort to these options because they cannot get a balance in their life. You know, so these are the supplements. Some may be legal, some may not be legal. That's the sad part. So, yeah, and more young people are being exposed to this. I mean, I was speaking to a friend of mine, Jocelyn, who's in the Western Cape currently, and she was telling me that... Yeah, Western Cape. She was telling me that universities... Oh, okay. The first thing that came to my mind was Cape Town.
Okay. Yeah.
And around the universities around there, you know, kids are easily, you know, exposed to these drugs that I think it's called Concerta. Concerta, it is, yeah. And it's been sold to them like it's just a packet of sweets, you know, and they use this, not awesome, and they use this, you know, to concentrate better. Apparently you go for hours on end studying. You go on hours on end concentrating in lectures. But now where the bad part is, like any other drug, you know, your body sort of becomes dependent on this source of...
you can't maintain that.
You can't maintain it,
life.
Yeah,
But I mean, we live in a very highly competitive, kind of overachieving world. I know that for a fact. Like, I'm an overachiever.
And I love that about the youth of today.
I can't deal with when I see a B on my exam results. I'm like, like, even to this day, I'm at varsity, and a 75% is considered to be a first. I'm like, no, that's a B. I might as well get pregnant at a bus station. Like, what's the point?
So, to
She
maintain
did
that
not
B,
just say that.
to maintain that B, as busy as your life may seem, and you get to a point where you can't really, reach that B, and you drop into your C, your D, and the last resort is now for you to take this Concerta or whatever supplements there are to get to that B of yours.
No, I want an A. First
To
class.
get to that A,
Yeah.
to get to that A. Will you take those drugs?
No.
And you know what? I really like that about us. We are really overachievers. That is a great thing. We need to be overachievers.
But you got to find a way to relax. You've got to find you've got to
Yeah,
find
but
balance, and you need to prepare.
I mean, just like you say you don't want your B, you want your straight A's.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what is the root of the problem. When you get into varsity, and now there's so much competition, and then you're
and
trying to
extramurals,
yeah,
we've got kendo this side and fencing. I enjoyed fencing; it was fun.
you really did
And for
fencing.
those, sorry
for some
to
unknowns
cut you
Oh
off
my
there.
word.
At 6 in the morning.
For those of us who weren't really cut out for school, to get those A's
You
or your
weren't cut out
B's,
for school.
right.
Wow. Okay.
do we now,
Yeah.
because you say, everything's just so competitive
Yeah.
and whatnot, folk like me, if you've got to represent out there, folk such as us, do we then go and take those concertas and whatnot to reach to your level?
No, I
Or-
think it's all about planning. I mean, when you were in high school, what were your kind of study techniques? What did you do to overcome your abilities, or I don't want to say lack thereof because that sounds rude, but like you know what I
but
mean?
that's the
Like
way it
if
is.
it was difficult for you to study, if you didn't test well, like how did you deal with that? How did you prepare when you were studying? Like Degano?
I don't really have a study method. Like it will also depend what I'm writing, because I know, with maths you gotta prepare well in advance.
Way
But
before.
like for me, a subject like and I don't mean to sound rude or I'm just degrading it, but life science for me, I would like cram it the night before, and I would write it and be fine and pass well. That's just how it worked for me.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
not condoning it. No, I am not. Studying well in advance is very good. And I have like made mistakes and fallen because I was cramming the night before. And I would not recommend it, but that's how I did it. And yeah, it worked for me most times. Other times,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you?
Not all of us can cram and go. Look, sometimes it works. Believe you me,
Sometimes it
sometimes it
works.
works. But hey, criminology,
Yeah.
sometimes, hey,
It's just
you know,
not good for you.
it's not. No. Don't get me wrong. It's not. I mean, we had a motto. I said a few weeks ago: CPF, cram, pass, forget. And you realize that this is not going to take me anywhere in life, But I couldn't study weeks in advance. I'd forget the first chapter by the time of, the 8th
Yeah.
chapter or so. But a few days before, which was bad, a few days before, and I think I did fine.
Yeah.
But then you find those people that, look, we all have our different ways.
Yeah, we
we're not,
do.
We're not all going to be the same. And I can't be advising someone else like, hey, do it like this, like this, like this, like
sit
that.
for the desk
you
for
know?
hours.
For
That
hours on
definitely
end.
does not work for
It
me.
doesn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's
like-
torture. It's torture.
I don't know, I'm pretty okay when it comes to studying. Like, I sort of like finally realized if I write stuff out, I pretty much never forget it. And if like I look over something once and if I understand the concept, I'll never forget it for the rest of my
Yeah.
life. So the night before, I'm kind of sitting, writing stuff out, chilling, making coffee, relaxing, go to bed at like 10, wake up, read some more.
Speaking
get
about
an
coffee. Oh, geez.
So she's the sponge.
People hate me. Like
She's
everyone
the,
hates
we were
me.
talking earlier. She's the sponge because Unati, I promise you, you can tell her the most boring, useless information ever, and she will retain it in her mind. And like, what's up with that? Like, if it's not useful to me, it's like, oops, it's out.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, okay, we've covered like cramming versus long-term study. But what do you think that that drug use stems from societies from your societies from pressure?
I understand.
Yo.
Don't worry.
Joy.
Pressure from society. Yeah, that's the one.
No, definitely it does. You have your parents, you have your friends who funda like ukubaqhaza, or you want to be better. You want to make your parents proud. That's what it's about. And society, for me, not so much, but for me, it's more for my parents.
Okay.
I feel the need to make them proud, and I
Okay.
feel the need to work harder and harder and harder.
Do they push you really, really hard, or do they kind of give you the space to succeed and fall and make your own mistakes?
They push me, but like not like study day and night, every day, 24/7. They're not like that, but it also comes from me. I want to make them proud.
Cool. And you, Luto?
I do my own thing, eh?
This one's just rogue, dude.
I
You
just
guys
feel
just
that I
like-
must be honest.
You just like
I must be frank.
cruising.
I feel that there's no need to lie. You know, I'll stumble.
I like people like you, and I'll be like, you know,
I did my own thing. You know,
you
subject
got
choice
this.
as well. I thought, what is it that I want to do? You know, did this, did that, played around with there, you know, here and there. But it's not really for who am I going to try and make proud of or whatever it is. At the end of the day, if I'm happy, you know, if I go to bed and I've got that smile on my face and I know what I've achieved for myself, I'm sorted. Eh?
Awesome, sweet. Well, we've got a video that's been sent in to us
yes.
by an anonymous
Anonymous.
contributor. I think it could be
Anonymous.
quite interesting.
It's hard to
take a look
expose
at
yourself with this topic.
Between having a full-time job, a full-time relationship, and a full-time social life, I'm also studying towards my degree. Everything is full-time besides my energy and focus, so I lean a lot on my study buddy, Ritalin. I'm not ADHD, and it wasn't prescribed. Well, not by a doctor anyway. A girl I go to class with has a sister with ADHD, and she stole it off her to help me out. What's wrong with a little sharing between friends?
I'm at a loss for words.
Interesting.
No, taking something that you haven't received a prescription for from a friend. Next
Sad.
thing, when like, you've got a heart
ADHD.
condition, and then you fall over and die, and I'll laugh at you. Because
Oh,
church, who
that's-
sent that?
that's so
Who
mean.
sent that? What were you doing?
Like I want to optimize.
Funda phela, like
way,
please,
though.
like
And-
optimize.
Yeah, these drugs, guys, we did not mention this, but mostly ADHD. What is it again? Attention deficient
hyper something.
something disorder.
Yes, that's the one.
Ritalin, Concerta, adrenaline,
Adderall. Yeah,
You
these
bet.
things.
What do you want to do when you're old?
No, we're not.
You want to be?
So-
You want to be a
You want to be a pharmacist?
Guys,
I'm definitely not getting drugs from you anytime soon. I'll be the guy that falls off that cliff and be like, I thought this guy was prescribed, and yet you had prescribed my
no,
drugs.
guys, it's Concerta, it's Ritalin, it's Adderall. That's
yeah,
right.
they're basically
so guys,
for anyone with
ADHD.
ADD
And I
or
mean, if you're a normal person, you don't have ADHD, why would you want to take drugs that are not meant for you?
Up to
'Cause
my
then-
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We're
Obviously.
going to talk more about this when we get back from this
Yeah.
ad break, because as usual, we've run out of time. So don't go anywhere. We'll still be here.
Stay
See you
right
just now.
there. Good evening. Yes, indeed. If you have just joined us, tonight's show is all about brain food.
Brain food,
Wellness Wednesday.
brain
I don't know how it
supplements,
just- yeah.
optimizing, that word is so
Optimizing
on my
that
mind.
brain.
Yeah, for sure. And just before we went to break, we were kind of just talking about how to juggle your life, your
Yeah.
hobbies, your studies.
Because as we
your
saw in the
boyfriend.
video,
Yeah.
the lady, the girl who sent the video, she's like a busy somebody.
Yeah.
She's got like work, study. She's a full-time girlfriend. Not that there's a part-time girlfriend, but she is in a stable relationship. So she has a lot to juggle, and
Yeah,
she
and
retorted.
cope with. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so many hours in the day. I mean, what can, it's 24
Yo,
hours.
24 hours is not enough. eh?
Sometimes, I wake up at 5, ne? So I get up, ne? And then I look at, and then I sit with my cat for a bit, and then I'll get out of bed at like 6 properly, ne? And then I'll do a workout, ne? And then I start to sit down, ne? 7. I haven't even gotten through like most of the stuff that I need to get through during my day.
I wish I had
and
your
it's like
morning
2 o'clock.
session.
It sounds good, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's 2 o'clock in
It
the
sounds so
afternoon.
good. I mean, I would be up, should be up at 5:30, snooze that alarm for about 45 minutes.
Oh,
And
okay. I
off
thought I was
go
bad.
for work, and I'm there like most of the day. And days that I don't come here, I get to rest a little bit.
Yeah,
But yeah, like I'm here tonight. Not that we spend like hours on end here,
yeah.
but it's just that whole busy schedule. And I will not
Nakhona
do the
your
whole-
sugar levels or your energy is like click,
Yeah,
Tanking,
yeah,
tanking, yeah. for
and then
sure.
go, and then it needs to be recharged, and then people. I know I'm an energy drink kind of girl.
Monster, which one?
No,
we can't, I suppose we can't condone
I'm an
this kind of
energy
thing.
drink kind of girl,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying people should go out there
Yeah.
and pack up on them, but that is my go-to.
I used
Whenever
to.
I feel like I'm sinking and
I
go
do
to-
a yoga breathing exercise,
Oh,
which
yeah,
helps
you
me.
did teach us
Yes, you put your fingers here, and then you inhale for 4 into the one nostril, close the nostril and hold for 2, then exhale for 4 in the other nostril, then close the nostril, hold for 2. No, don't close the nostril. Exhale, then inhale, then close the nostril.
Yeah, this is supposed to help you
Exhale.
relax.
Yeah, and you
Are
just
you
do
guys
that. You repeat
okay?
that cycle.
I learned it from her.
You do that for 2-3 minutes because you're getting oxygen to your brain directly.
Can I not just breathe using both my nostrils? It'll rush straight to my brain, I promise you.
Because you're also focusing and calming your heart rate and relaxing and then breathing and getting the air there. And you must sit nicely with your crossed legs and straighten your back and just center yourself. Do it for 3 minutes, I swear. You'll get up and you'll be like, okay, I can think. Because there's oxygen in your brain again.
Okay.
That's
With
basically
my
what
coffee.
guarana does.
No, coffee is
Guarana
bad.
improves oxygen absorption in the brain. That's
Okay,
basically
well,
what it does.
anyways, guys, I want to hear from the guys at home. I don't know about you because y'all are busy yapping, but I want to hear
My
from
job.
you guys
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
If your study methods, you can tell us how you get to study. And of course, like, how do you make your brain last longer? Because that's what it's really about, making your brain last longer, whether it's natural, whether it's not natural. Send us your answers. And of course, huge thank you to PC Training and Business College for the sponsored tablets. Thank you very much. All love.
For sure.
I'm
So,
still amazed.
what?
So,
It's good for
Everyone
you.
has their
drugs.
own methods.
Just breathe. It's good for you. It's good for you.
Definitely. And that's what I
Better
want
for
to
you
hear
than
from
a
you.
sugar rush. Like
I must actually speak to our guest. I've got this problem.
what?
Caffeine, hey?
Your
I've got this problem, I'm telling you. And at work, recently, they've placed me near a coffee machine. I promise you try to work, and
be a
you just
nightmare
you
for
don't
your
see the guy go to the coffee machine. You just hear the whole noise go, bzzz, and you're like, yo,
Okay.
where's my cup?
Okay. Now we're getting off track. So
Indeed.
we've been looking at all these articles, right, that have been kind of trending lately about these students who are taking study aids, study
Yeah.
drugs. Basically, they're taking ADHD medication.
Yeah.
Without the prescription from a doctor, and to increase their performance. And this is like quite prolific in schools today. What do you think about this? I mean, what's driving these kids to do this?
Before we get to that, ADHD,
Yes.
for people who don't know
Yes.
at home, it is attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder, which is a condition affecting the brain. It is characterized by a deficit in attention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. But not all of these are always present, which makes it quite difficult to spot out a ADHD child.
Also, being SIGs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Leave
you know,
them, they're energetic.
3-year-old.
That's what 6-year-olds do.
Don't be worried if your 3-year-old is like running around. He's allowed
Don't worry
to.
if I still
Okay,
run around.
this is about people using study drugs at school. I know all having a good time, but let's focus.
Sorry,
Okay.
get back to your clip.
With
Let's
these
focus.
things, I think the problem is that they are easily available. And you can get them like a snap of a finger, whether you get it from someone who is actually suffering from ADHD or whether you are getting at Black Street Market, because it's also now become such a huge market to get these drugs. So I think the problem is that it is easily available.
Yeah, and I think people don't also think about the long-term effects.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
surely there's a downside to this at some point in your life. I don't know, like a heart attack.
But that's
I'll
what they
laugh at
do
you.
with drugs. You feel, you know, it's all great now. I'm going to pass. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. You know, I'll deal with the long-term effects much
After.
later. And the whole, I agree with you. It's easily available for them. But for me, it wasn't. Not that I was out there looking for it. Not that I was out there looking for it.
Oh,
Secret
Luton, like
exposed.
outing
It's-
yourself, yeah.
For me, it wasn't like distributed in the public or walked out like, hey, let me go get this fix or whatever it is, you know. And it's
Oh
not
my
that I
word.
had friends that suffered from that deficit disorder, which I will not attempt to
Being
pronounce.
children, yes.
Not only children, you get high school students that take Ritalin.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Fortunately, I didn't have any, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not that I was gonna get some from them, or you know. And even if they were, you know, doing biology,
And
you
to
educate
also
folk.
prove that it is easily available, while we're doing research, I came across this quote from Anonymous. We will not mention names. And it says, I told my GP I wanted to try it because I struggled to focus in matric. He gave me a 6-month prescription after a 5-minute consultation. It was that easy.
All the money, money.
This reminds me of the 1930s where like doctors were like throwing away prescriptions for morphine
Yeah,
to like heroin
yeah.
addicts. I
Well,
don't
look, as long as
understand,
you
like-
pay them,
They don't care.
They don't
like,
care
it's
about your
fine,
life,
alright,
yeah.
fine. Let me just sign this thing for you, or you're going to die now because you're
Oh.
taking things. No, like surely something is happening in your body. Like
Yeah.
clearly, you're not designed to sit for long periods of time like that. Aren't people thinking about like extreme fatigue? Because if you take a Ritalin there and then you're like awake for like 24 hours, but like you've got another exam in 48 hours, so you take another one, okay, and then you take another one, then you take another one. Now you've been up virtually for like, I don't
4
know, 4 or
days.
5 days, and you're operating on 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Do you think you're not going to fall on the floor and have Unati laugh at you? But I would
Dysfunction.
love
You're
to.
so mean.
Torturable sense, and yes, what were you doing? Are you stupid?
They got
What is wrong with
optimized.
you?
How many times was it?
Or rather,
Optimize
they
your
got
actual brain
prescribed by
power. Like,
someone.
what's wrong with you?
You know there are things that you can do to actually exercise the brain. Like,
How? Chess?
yeah, playing not mind, but okay, yeah, mind games. But not bad mind games. You know,
Mind games that get you mindset.
Yeah, adjust your
mindset.
mindset.
Tune into mindset.
Yeah,
That's an
like
exercise.
play Sudoku or something, and also read.
Knit.
Yes, the average human, you and your knitting, the average human being is supposed to be able to read 50 pages in an hour. Average. I can read 60 to 70 pages in
Because
an
that
hour.
is absolutely normal.
Yeah, no,
Read. The more you read, the stronger your brain gets. You're exercising your mind. You're focusing on something that isn't your television. That's basically like sending
Keep doing that, it's
mind-melting
great.
rays into your face.
I know I'm
Keep
definitely
doing it,
not
it's
an
awesome.
average. I don't read 50 to 60 pages in an
Get
hour.
there. Get there. Read. Just read. It's also good for you. Chess. What else did we say? Can't only be like reading. and
Reading
chess
or
and
chess,
Sudoku.
yeah. Those crossword puzzles.
Yes.
You owe me a Coke.
Facebook. That is
no,
good.
that's polluting your mind.
That is polluting
That's like
your
taking
mind.
your mind
But
out
guys,
of your
no,
head,
no,
leaving
no,
it
no.
enjoying
Get with the
CBD.
times now. You get books on e-books. That's
Yeah, you
reading.
can- yeah, you can get
Hello.
e-books
You get
if you want
books on
to.
Facebook.
If you own a tablet, if you want to spend that kind of money on a thing to read, on, you could just go buy the 40-rand book. Like, I don't understand.
Sure, we still have one. There's one in Rivonia, there's one in Sanson.
Bryanston,
Bryanston.
Brinton, Greenside.
Yeah,
We
Bryanston.
keep like listing like these opulent bloody
There's a
areas.
library in Greenside.
There's a library in Greenside on Barry Herzog.
Wow, it's probably next to the office.
frequent it.
Office park.
And then we have a question here
Yeah.
quickly
Yeah.
from Kiabetse, Kayline Bukaba, and she's asking, people believe that coffee helps to keep one awake while studying. Does it help though? Your experience?
Quickly,
You're a
keeps me
coffee
up.
fan.
quickly.
Not only studying, at work, productivity. Espressos are awesome. Have those for your exams. But don't overdo it because the caffeine will get you, you
Will
know,
start
inyang,
stripping
inyana
your,
and everything. Yeah, like it'll
stomach
just,
lining.
yeah. And yeah, coffee does work for me. I don't know about you guys.
Some people actually have an allergy to coffee. I'm one of them. Sometimes, like, I'll have, it depends on what kind of coffee, like chicory, like Greek coffee, which isn't really coffee, I can drink and it'll make me like hyperactive. But if I drink real, like, ground beans coffee,
You're
it
an
makes me go to sleep.
expensive girl.
Yes, I have a coffee machine. I like ground bean coffee.
I actually use this, not promoting them or anything. I forgot what it's called, but it's a product from Nature's Health, and you mix it with lukewarm water. It's all natural, natural and everything. And Kalezer, and it helped me well, and it was natural.
Awesome,
Natural.
excellent. Well, we're gonna be back with our guest
Brain
David.
foods is next. Natural
afterwards.
way
Yes,
to
natural
actually care
ways
for
to
your
help
brain.
yourself.
Yeah.
And we'll see you after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Yay.
Hi, welcome back to Connections, and we have Dave, not David, with us this evening from CrossFit Bryanston, right?
That's Dave.
Excellent. So tell us a bit about yourself.
I got into fitness. I was never really good at sport. Everything I've done, I kind of had to work hard for. Had an interest to join the military, and when this country wasn't recruiting, I went to England.
Okay.
That got me involved in fitness because I became a physical training instructor in the army in England.
Very nice.
And then came back, and before going, I was doing communications at RAU.
Yeah.
Came back, switched that to sports psychology undergrad.
Okay, cool.
With the credits. RAU became UJ, and then I was just doing personal training to make some money, and it was decent as you were a student. You got flexible hours and stuff, and you
Yeah.
can make better money and then better hours so you could study. And then I started getting a little bit iffy with personal training. I wanted to take it more seriously, but the sports teams and stuff really want you to have the piece of paper. So
Yeah.
that prompted me to go back and study my honours in sports science.
Okay.
And that's where I met my friend Albert, who opened CrossFit Bryanston,
Okay.
and now I'm going to be working for him.
Awesome.
Why are you so
excellent.
passionate about exercising though? Like it's
It's,
rare that you find people.
It's
you
always
know.
been it's always been something I've like wanted to do. In the beginning, like when you're younger and stuff, it's all about like you've got to get the body and you've got to get the look and all that kind of stuff. But as you go through, and it's like it's a maturity thing, like anything. As you go, you suddenly start seeing what works, what doesn't work, and it kind of just, some people like it, it's their thing, some people don't. They do other activities and stuff. And then what I really like is I've done lecturing on personal training courses and lectured personal trainers who were aspiring to be in the industry, and that was really good because you don't really know something actually until you've actually taught it to someone, because then that really makes you stand up and own it, and you've got to have your stuff on point because you're then training someone who's going to go forth and do something.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Yeah. So we've been reading a few articles and just looking online and educating ourselves in terms of what you should eat to have a healthy brain, body, lifestyle, etc. And let's just talk about those for a bit. So there's things like fish and nuts and whole grains and apples and English cruciferous vegetables.
I have no clue what that is.
And dark chocolate, spinach, berries, etc., etc., etc. Could you enlighten us on like a healthy, stable diet that one can maintain for their brain?
Nutrition gets quite sticky because there's a lot, like anything, there's a lot of different paradigms, thought processes. What works for the three of us, something would work differently for all three of us. Something would resonate better with all three of us, depending on your socioeconomic background and that kind of stuff. What do you have access to? One of the courses I did when I did my CrossFit certification, one of the things that really resonated with me was it's a simplistic way of eating where you eat lean meats, nuts and seeds, and veg. And what that does is you're getting the protein from the meat, you're getting the carbohydrates from the veg, and you're getting your essential fats from the nuts. They then prefaced it with some fruit, minimal starch, and if you're going starch, you want to stay away from the refined stuff, the white flour and that kind of stuff, because if you were hungry and you were at home, it's easy to put a muffin in your mouth or grab a sandwich. But if you were sitting at home, you wouldn't exactly be studying and take a study break and go and start chucking flour in your mouth, because it's going to make you hurl. But that's what you're doing every time you have bread. So your body is not really used to processing it. And then the last thing they said was zero refined sugar. It's all about hormonal balance in the body because insulin gets released with the refined sugar.
If there's blueberries in your mouth,
the blueberries, yes. The rest of it is not. But then again, you've got to look at...
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you can eat the super strict way, but what a lot of people don't do is they're doing A, they get told A is wrong, so now they're only going to do B. There's no middle ground. There's no sort of A, B, into more B. People don't make it sustainable to their lifestyle. I mean, as simple as when they say no refined sugar, there's so much sugar in the food we eat today. If you go out for ribs at a steakhouse, the basting sauce or the basting sauce on the steaks has got sugar in it. Then you're going to have a coffee afterwards, you're going to put sugar in it. Then the whole low-fat stuff causes problems because fat is hormonally insensitive. It doesn't cause an insulin spike, insulin being a storage hormone. So it encourages the body to hold on to stuff. When you eat protein, that releases a hormone called glucagon. That's a release hormone. It gets your body to release fat so that you can actually use your body fat as energy. And for all the guys out there who are trying to get six-packs and stuff now suddenly start going protein only because they want to be lean and ripped and stuff, you got to watch your pH balance of your body, because if you eat too much protein, you're more acidic, and that opens you up to the dangers of things like cancers and those kind of things, autoimmune diseases that way. So it gets all kind of iffy, but now people don't make that small sustainable change. If you're having 2 sugars in your coffee, try 1. It's something that you can do. To go cold turkey, there's not very many people who could go cold turkey on something. I'm a little bit out there and I can do it, and I kind of become a bit like, well, that's what I'm doing and that's what I'm doing. But I still find you've got to have your soul food. You've got to have that day where you're out, there's that awesome piece of chocolate mousse cake.
Your cheat day.
Have it, because you work so hard, you're doing all of this kind of stuff. You shouldn't reward yourself all the time, but there's going to be the time where you actually just have to rest. If you're training hard, if you're eating strict, your body is under constant tension the whole time. Add work tension to that. Add school tension, varsity tension. Then you decide, you're training intensely, but you're going to have a rest day, i.e. you don't train, but you still stick to that strict regimen of eating. You're not actually allowing your body to relax. So a lot of people go along the mindset of everything in moderation and that kind of stuff. Even at CrossFit Bryanston, we're always running around and we're promoting this or doing that, and we're trying to create more of a lifestyle for you to embrace the lifestyle. I mean, it's easy if you're a professional athlete, because all you do is live, eat, sleep, training and competition. And you will do a hard training session and then you can go and sleep, go and relax. Whereas a lot of people will be training at the gym in the mornings. They'll smash a good session, then it's off to the workplace. Business meetings, calls, clients. You constantly have to be on the ball, and people don't eat enough then. Now suddenly people don't eat. So snacking on things like nuts and seeds and veg, you can get things at grocery stores, sugar snap peas, some almonds, and biltong sticks. Now, if you do that, it's kind of like a grazing mentality. I did it when I was studying at varsity. I would literally have a lot of that kind of stuff, and you graze all the time. You keep your blood sugar constant, which makes you not want to just find anything and everything and eat it. Because when your blood sugar drops, you will literally eat the person next to you because you just need nutrients.
Angry.
That's the problem.
Having mentioned that, in fact, drawing up that sheet of diet, you know, and speaking about varsity, as you just said, what role does this play? You know, having your brain performing better, because we had this discussion earlier.
And exercise as
you
well.
know,
How
does that all incorporate, and what role does it play?
Interesting, people, when they talk about exercise, people then get told they've got to go to the gym, they've got to do this, they've got to do that. Find something that's you can do, something you enjoy that's physically challenging.
A hobby.
And do it, a hobby. Go and play soccer if you want to. Kick about a ball. Get out and do stuff. Studies have shown that if you do high intense exercise, now everyone in the world thinks like, oh, sprint training and CrossFit and kettlebells and all these like training like a Navy SEAL kind of thing. That's great, but if that's not your thing, training at that high intensity is not going to be sustainable for you. High intensity training is good because it makes you fitter quicker. But it also, when you do a thing called anaerobic training.
So you mean HIIT by high intensity?
Yeah, high intensity interval training.
Okay,
What you're doing there is you're kind of training anaerobically, meaning the chemical reactions being used in your body to produce energy within you are taking place without the presence of oxygen. There's a whole way that your 3 metabolic pathways work. And when you are anaerobic, all of that is going on without oxygen, as in the chemical reaction for the grade 12 students, grade 11 students who've done science that's how it progresses. It's verse gives you that with certain byproducts. One of the byproducts of anaerobic training, which is manifested with high intense training, is lactate. Now everyone thinks that they're stiff because they've got lactic acid buildup. It's not. It's your muscles have got micro tears and your body's trying to repair it, and you've trained at a harder level than you were used to, so your body's trying to play catch up and recover from that. Lactate, being the byproduct, can actually be used as a metabolite, something that can be used to metabolize for energy. What happens is there's a metabolic pathway called the Cori cycle. And that takes the excess lactate that's floating around in the body and sends it to the liver and stores it in the liver as glycogen, that being the more complex form of glucose, which is your simple blood sugar. And then you've got more glycogen within you to use for when you need it. Also, studies have shown that lactate is what the brain loves to use for food. So you can do all of the cool diets and all that kind of stuff, but if you're training with high intensity, you're producing lactate as the byproduct, and the brain loves that. And as you were talking about earlier, and about the second segment when you were talking about the yoga breathing and stuff, that is, people have likened low intense cardiovascular activity like walking or bike riding or something to increased creativity, because you are then getting the blood flowing around the entire body. And the brain is an essential organ. And the body will shuttle blood where it is needed. So if you find, like now with the Tour de France going on, their bodies are so attuned to cycling that when they start riding, blood supply to like the digestive tract and those kind of things will get shuttled away. They'll still get blood. You've still got blood going everywhere, but it gets favored down to the legs because that's where your muscles are, and your muscle wants energy. And energy gets to the muscles via blood. But it also starts pumping around the brain and stuff, and that starts creating more oxygen to the brain, and it helps your creative process, because the minute you start exercising and putting your body under strain, your blood vessels dilate, so that it can increase the blood flow so that you get more nutrients around there.
Okay, that's why I always feel so much better after I've done like a 60-minute workout in the morning, and then I can actually do my schoolwork better.
It's well, I've done the CrossFit Kids course now. I've just come back from the United States, and they literally advocate for the teens class.
Yeah.
The babies, it's all about fun, and the middle age groups, the 6 to 12 age group, it's also still about fun. But the teens upwards, what they do is they destroy them in a workout. I mean, it's like the kind of CrossFit stuff you see, CrossFit Games type style.
Yeah.
But pretty much thereafter, when they're splattered on the floor in a big sweat heap, they're up, towel off, water, maybe have a bit of a snack, dry clothes on, and they take them to a classroom, and they then tackle, they've got their homework for the day from school. They tackle the subject that they're bad at.
Maths.
So if it's maths or science, then they hit it there. The body is ready. There's a lot of lactate floating around. The brain is ready. The body is supercharged to take on something.
Okay, excellent. So what kind of exercises would you recommend to high school students? Exercises that they can maintain over like a hectic schedule?
It's, again, find something that they like. If they like playing soccer, let them do that, because you can try and make people go and run 5Ks, they hate it. Yes, even if you give them an iPod. And but if you put a ball on a field, people will chase it. People will chase a ball, and they don't care. I mean, and look at like when you have like a braai or something, and suddenly you've got fathers who are not in the best physical shape. They will kill themselves to get that ball. And that is high intensity. High intensity is not go and train till you vomit. High intensity is different for everyone. There's the normal person who's been more sedentary and they've just been sitting around a lot. High intensity for them would be to get up and actually just go for a walk around the block. That's intense. It doesn't have to be this insane training that everyone starts going on to, because it's not sustainable for them, and that's going to have other contraindications for their health and wellness.
Okay, all right. And what do you recommend for breakfast on the day of an exam?
Yeah, it's very important.
You want to get at least something like, some people are going oats and that. You want to get a good balance of carbohydrate, protein, and fats. So a good omelet would be good. Some eggs. You can get some, that's already got your protein in there. You can get your carbohydrates. You can add some fruit to it as a side bowl. So you've got your omelet, and you can put some avocado in it or something like that, and some bacon, and that, making sure that you're not getting too much protein and none of the other stuff. Fats are in the avocado. You can have olives and that kind of stuff if you're ordering it out. Or if you've got like, you can have oats. You can put some yogurt in that. That's giving you some extra protein and that kind of stuff. And then you can add some fruit to that as well.
Awesome.
The big problem is a lot of people right now buying a lot of these supplement shakes and that kind of stuff. What people don't realize is that stuff is a supplement. You don't see people chowing down 18,000 pills of vitamin C. Because when people start getting sick, they supplement with vitamin C. They up their vitamin C intake. Now, with popular media and marketing and advertising and stuff, people are being led to believe that if you just drink all the fun, fandangled protein supplements and bodybuilding supplements, you are going to look like that. But what they don't understand is the work that those athletes have put into to do that photo shoot, the diet that they've gone on to. I mean, those people are dropping.
Okay, all right. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's time for us to wrap it up. We always run out of time. It's so frustrating.
Time flies.
But thank you guys for watching, and we hope to see you tomorrow night for Talk Thursday. See you soon.
Cool. Thank you.